Good afternoon, everybody in London. Good morning if you're in New York. Good evening if you're in Israel. It gives me enormous pleasure on behalf of Tribe and Belmont Shul to introduce you to a fabulous magician from New York, Ben Cohen, who's going to do a great show for us now. And hopefully when this pandemic is over, he'll get to London and maybe he'll be at one of our shuls or schools or a bat or bar mitzvah or some other simcha. So with great pleasure, I pass immediately over to New York and welcome to Ben Cohen.
Good afternoon, London. Good evening, Israel. Hello, how are you? Today, before we start out, it's a very interesting time. We've just passed Yom HaTzmaut, and we're approaching Lag BaOmer. And after Lag BaOmer, we get to Shavuos. And we know on Lag BaOmer that we make the midurah and we make a bonfire. But then on Shavuos, we take our shul and, of course, we beautify it with flowers. Well, good show. Today, I'm going to try something very interesting. I'm going to introduce you to my helper. His name is Samson the Third, the semi-indestructible bird. And Samson lives right over here. There we go. This is Samson the Third. Samson is an indestructible bird. He is my helper, and he will do whatever I tell him to. Watch. I'm going to take Samson. I'm going to place Samson inside of this box. Now, this is the kind of box that normally I would put a real-life person inside of, but I'm going to take Samson, place him inside the box, and with your help, we together are going to make Samson a little bit smaller. Now, all you have to do out there, now I know you're there and I'm here, and I'm going to ask you guys all at home to do this. All you have to do is snap and clap. Snap and clap. Yes, you're doing it. That's great. And when you do that, Samson becomes a little bit smaller. Let's try that again. Snap and clap. Snap and clap. Wonderful. And Samson becomes a little smaller than he was before. I know what you might be thinking. Maybe Samson is one of those well-trained birds from the circus. He can take his wings around his body, tail over head, and he fits into the teeny tiny box on top of my table. That's why I have these pom-poms attached to knitting needles. I'm going to take them, I'm going to place them through the box. You'll notice that Samson is not hiding in the bottom of the box. Samson's not hiding here in the top of the box. Samson's not over here on the right side. He's not over here on the bottom. In case you're wondering, I have one more, and I call this one the Tsar Balech. Kidding, this will not hurt Samson, but it will take up the rest of the space inside of the box. Wonderful. Oh, I can see you're curious. You're thinking. Very good. You're saying to yourself, Mr. Cohen, we have figured out the mystery. Samson is not hiding in the top. Samson is hiding in the little purple bottom part underneath. Very good. That's what I thought the very first time that I saw this. But in fact, Samson is not hiding in the bottom. So the question now is, where did Samson go? Is Samson truly in that box? Is Samson in my little table? Or is Samson hiding inside of my sleeves? I will tell you right now, my table is way too thin to hold the bird. The box it is way too small to hold him. My sleeves are way too tight to have the bird. But inside the box, I will show you that Samson was able to make himself just a little bit smaller, just a little bit. Okay, you don't think that that was Samson, and I might agree. Well, that's okay. So I'm going to do is I'm going to take out the knitting needles, and I'm going to do everything in reverse, and we're going to bring Samson out from inside of the box. Here we go. Samson from inside of the, oh, excuse me, sorry, there must be something in the way. I'm sure Samson is in here. All I have to do is take out the extremely long, multicolored handkerchief from inside of the box and stretch the box out. That's one, that's two. And now, before I show you Samson, I'm going to ask you guys to all do me a favor. Samson is trained with sound. So when you see Samson again, I'm going to ask you guys to clap your hands at home, right where you are. And that way Samson will know that the show is over for him. So everybody get ready. Okay, when you see Samson, everybody, here he is. Samson the Third, the semi-indestructible bird. And now for the rest of the show, I'm going to put Samson away inside of, you did great, Samson. I'm going to put Samson away inside of his travel cage so he can enjoy the rest of the show from the comfort of his home. Well, now that I've shown you a little bit of magic, I'm going to do something a little bit different than all other magicians. You see, a long time ago, magicians were not very nice people. A long time ago, magicians used to use their fast hands, or their koach hatoma, to get people to do avodah zarah. But today, magicians are good. But for that reason, the rabbis have asked me, when I get up in front of you, I'm supposed to tell you that everything that I do is not real. But I can see you guys are really smart. You all go to school, and you realize that everything that I do is what we call a trick or a shtick. So I'm going to teach you guys how to do a trick. So that way you know exactly, even though right now I'm not going to teach everything in my show, I will give you an example. That way you know what I do is not real. Now this is a trick I came up with, and it uses this. No, it is not a deck of cards, and it's a specially made deck of cards, and these cards are in Hebrew. Each one of these cards represent a parsha from the Torah. So in a moment, what's going to happen, I'm going to ask somebody in the audience to help me. And what they're going to do is they're going to pick a parsha. I'm going to do the trick, and then I'm going to teach you guys how to do it. And this will be great that you can go with your friends and family, and you can show them this trick. Okay? So if we could, can you please get me a volunteer from our viewing audience? Hello there, and what is your name?
Hannah.
Hello, Hannah. How are you? So, Hannah, let me just make sure that all of my cards are completely mixed up. Wonderful. Oh, now there is what we call a joker, which is not really a joker. I'm going to show you all the cards, okay? And here's what your job is. You're going to make a random selection. So I'm going to run down the side of the cards. Whenever you stop me, that card will be yours, and everybody will see it, okay? If you don't mind, as I go through, please say stop.
Stop.
Right there? Wonderful. I'm going to hold up the card just so you can see it. Can you see the card?
Yeah.
Okay. Can you remember the parsha? Let me help out. It's Parshas Va'aschanan. Now, it's okay that I saw it because this is really just for an example. Watch. I place the card back inside, and here's what happens. I'm going to get that card from the deck. I'm going to do a wonderful trick, and you've done a wonderful thing. So we can go to full screen again, and here's what's going to happen. I am going to get the cards to go from the table through the air and end up inside of my balloon. This trick is called Parsha card in balloon. In a moment, what's going to happen is that card is going to go inside of this balloon. How am I going to show you the card inside of the balloon? Well, I happen to have the natural enemy of the balloon, which is the barbecue lighter. Now, if you don't like the sound of a balloon popping, that's okay. All you have to do is take your first fingers and put them into your ears, just like we do for Lashon Hara. Exactly. Okay. So here we go. In a moment, I'm going to pop over the balloon, and I believe I saw it with Parshas Va'aschanan. All right. So here we go. Your card from the deck into the balloon. Fingers on your ears. Palms on your ears. Wonderful. Inside the balloon. Inside the balloon is. It's Parshas Va'aschanan, Parshas Va'aschanan. There you go. Wow. Well, the best part of this trick is I'm going to teach you exactly how to do it. If you want to, oh dear. If you want to do this trick, the first thing that you have to do is you have to go to a very special store. You do not go to a magic store. You go to an office supply store and you get yourself some of this. This is tape, but it's not regular tape. This is actually double-sided tape. It's sticky on two sides. And when I begin my show, before my show, I take a small piece of tape and I put it onto my finger. That makes my finger very sticky. Then I touch the, I leave it there. Of course, you don't want to touch anything because if you do, it will stick to your finger. Now, when I start the show, I get a card to be selected. And the card goes inside, but when the card goes in, as I put the top on, here's what happens. I slip out the cards, it goes from the inside right onto the top. It's a magician magic move. And then what I'm going to do is I touch my finger with the tape, it goes on back of the card, and it makes the card very sticky. And as you can see, your card is so sticky that it will actually stick to my hand. So in a moment, what happens is I put the cards on the table. The top card now has a piece of tape on it. Now, here's the thing. Before the show, I took two balloons. I took a black balloon, and I put a green balloon inside of it, and I blew them up at the same time. But I stopped blowing on that green one, and I kept on blowing on the black one. That left a little airspace in between the two. So when I took out my lighter, I was able to pop just the black balloon, and the green balloon seemed to appear, but really, it was hidden inside. Now, of course, you're not going to use a lighter. You'll use a sharpened pen or a pin if mommy lets. Now, what happens is, after the balloon pops, because I need to get that card into my hand. The surprise is important because the surprise of the black balloon turning green is the moment that my hand, if you remember, went down for a moment, down to the table and came back up. And when it did, stuck to my hand, in the palm of my hand was Parshas Va'aschanan. See, all magicians do this. Some better than others. It's called palming. Of course, you don't want to leave your hand like this. You can leave your hand like this. It's kind of obvious. You want to turn your hand out naturally. And try to act natural. Your friends come in, just act natural, just say, or yo, depending on what yeshiva you guys go to. Then what you do is you take your hand, you put it behind the balloon, you turn your hand, and you pop the balloon. And then when the balloon pops, it goes from the palm of your hand to your fingertip, and you go and grab it. This makes it look like the card is inside the balloon, when really the card was stuck to your hand behind the balloon. And that's how the trick works. It's called Parsha card in a balloon. Thank you very much. Thank you. Wow. That's I can see a couple people scratching their heads. You know, I feel sometimes when I explain this, it would be better if I actually had another balloon as a prompt to show it to you. So let me just do that right now. I brought along with me another balloon, and this one, you can see I've pressed the card against the balloon. Now, it's important if you ever do this, a few things I should mention. Number one, when you do this, you want to make sure to close your fingers. If you don't close your fingers, people might see and peek the card that's pressed up against the balloon, and that would ruin it. Okay, number two, when you go to buy your balloons at the store, make sure not to buy a balloon that's see-through. Okay, I don't know if I really had to mention that, but yeah, it's kind of obvious, because if you did this and you were surrounded by your friends and family on Hanukkah, they might see the card inside your hand. And number three, this is the most important thing. I've just shown you how the card got in the balloon. Now, you might think I've ruined my own magic show by teaching you that, but in fact, when I came up with this trick, I came up with 3 ways of doing it, and I've only shown you one. I actually have 2 more. Let me show you one. Let me show you what it looks like. I don't have time to teach it to you, but here you go. We take your Parsha and we press. Now this time we don't pop the balloon, but we press it in. Now if we do this carefully, although you can still see it on the outside, if I'm careful enough, I can get the card to go completely from the outside to the inside of the balloon. The balloon is from the party store. The tape is from the office supplies store. The Parsha cards are mine, but there you go. It's called Parsha card in balloon. I hope you guys try it out. Thank you so very much. Well, you know, I got up really early this morning to prepare for my show, and I forgot to have the most important part of my day. And yes, the most important of my day is my coffee. You've guessed it. I love coffee more than anything else in the world. I make it myself. I like it the old-fashioned way. I don't do the instant. I don't do those K-cups. I like grinding my beans and making it the old-fashioned way. But I'm a magician, and so I have a magical way of doing it. So I'm going to show you that right now. And you guys, I'm going to need your help. Let's have a little bit of coffee. This is my coffee pods. A few coffee beans into my coffee pot. Coffee. You gotta fill it all the way up. Feel free to clap along. Now everybody, wave your fingers at the cup for me. Nice. You guys are doing great. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, shehakol nihiyeh b'varo. Delicious. L'chaim. Boy, that was fun. Well, now I'm going to choose somebody else from the, let's see, I'm going to look into the screen. I'm going to try to find someone. Hold on, I think I can grab one out virtually. Give me a second. I believe I can just grab somebody out from the screen. Whoa, look what we have here. Hello there, and what is your name? Hello, Shoshana, how are you? Well, everyone, I didn't actually pull a girl out from the computer. This is my daughter, Shoshana. She is helping for the show. Now, Shoshana, I'm going to make you something, but before I do, of course, you know the rules, that if I make you something, you first have to give me something. So first of all, I'm going to ask you to peek inside my bucket here. Do you see anything inside? Perfect. Anything in my hand? Anything in my other hand? Okay, Shoshana, here's what you're going to do. You're going to grab out in the air. You're going to try to pull out something from the air. Would you mind? Just grab something for me. Thank you so much. Can you do me a favor? Can you drop it inside the bucket? Oh, that sounds like a bit of money. First of all, can you see that? Can you? You can't see that? Oh, hold on a second. Shoshana, can you see that? Are you sure? Hold on a second. Let me give that back to you, Shoshana. Would you do me a favor? Would you drop that back inside the bucket? Thank you. Okay, you can definitely hear that. You can. Okay, Shoshana, would you wave your hand so everybody should be able to see the money that is inside the bucket? Wonderful. And everybody, here it is. A little bit of money. This is a magic bit of money. The magic money goes inside of the bucket. Shoshana, would you grab another one and drop it inside for me? Wonderful. Let me just grab one out from your ear. Wonderful. And one from out your nose. Perfect. And there's one from under your arm. Huh. Stinky. Now, Shoshana, that was so wonderful, but if you just, I kind of see a little bit of extra money kind of floating around you. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take this magic back scratcher, and if there should be some little bit of cash somewhere around you, it should stick to the top. So let's see if we find something behind your head. Nothing there. Behind your left ear. Oh, of course. There we go. There's another one. And there's one from inside of your shirt. Perfect. And of course, there's one from underneath your arm. Stinky. Nice, Shoshana. Just say "Hachu" for me. Would you go Oh, it went from in her mouth. Wonderful. Shoshana, that was great. And since you gave me something, I'm going to give you something in return. I'm going to make you a balloon animal. And I'm going to ask you to choose any one of the many different colors that I have inside of my bag. I'm going to ask you to pick out one, put your hand inside, and pull out any one you want. Ooh, green. Oh, I love green. Green happens to be my favorite color. Are you guys laughing? That hurts. That hurts. They're laughing. You hold on to this for me, Shoshana. Pull and hold on to that. Okay. Wow. High five. Great. All right, Shoshana, I'm going to make you any kind of balloon you want. I can make you a dog. This is what we call super 3D. Now, Shoshana, I will make you a balloon animal. If you hold on to that, okay. Now, whatever balloon animal Shoshana chooses, that one will. Very funny, Shoshana. You're funny. We don't need that. Don't matter. Inside, I have a million more. I'm going to mix them all up. Black, orange, green, purple. Would you put your hand inside and pull out anyone you want? Pull out anyone. Just grab your hand and pull out one. And oh, wonderful, pink. Pink happens to be my favorite color. Maybe not. Shoshana, now what kind of balloon should I make you? I can make you a dog, a dachshund, a retriever, or a puppy. What would you like? A puppy. Wonderful choice. Like she had any. Here we go. to make a puppy, we're going to, first of all, have to remember to tie the balloon. Second, we're going to have to make 2 balloons out of it. Perfect. Shoshana, would you hold on to this one? Thank you very much. And I'm going to really hold on to the bottom. Hold on tight. You're not going to let go now, are you? Thank you so much. Now, in a moment, what's going to happen? Really, Shoshana? High five. Excellent. Put your hand aside and pull out any other one you want. Any other one, but you, oh no, dear me. We're out of balloons. I have no more left. Shoshana, you brought your own. Thank you so much. You're so nice. Shoshana, I'm going to make you your balloon dog now. Puppy, yes, balloon puppy. Okay, that's the first part of it. Here we go. This is the head. This is the ear. This is the other ear. This is the other ear. Oh no, that doggy has 3 ears. I can fix it. That's the head. That's now a leg. Perfect. Now that's the neck. And we have the middle. We have the bottom leg. And now we have, oh, beautiful. We have a beautiful balloon puppy dog for Shoshana. Thank you so much, Shoshana. You were wonderful. Excuse me, I'm a magician. I can put this back together. Can you get that for me, Shoshana? Oh, thank you. That's so wonderful. Take your balloon, put it in the bag, and now you have a penguin. That's for you, and you may sit back down. Thank you so very much. Thank you so. No. That's not fair of me. Shoshana, here's what I'm going to ask you to do. I'm going to ask you to hold on to the bag. I'm going to ask you to shake it. Shake it up, shake it down, shake it right, left, and all around. Here, there, and everywhere. It's where. Oh, that's Uncle Mushy. Hold it up. Here we go, and you've done it. It is no longer popped. It is no longer broken. It is now back to one beautiful balloon puppy dog for Shoshana. Thank you very much. And you may sit back down. A round of applause for Shoshana. Wonderful. You know, because of the whole situation that we're in right now, it becomes very difficult for us to get all the different things that we need. And I've come up with a wonderful solution. And I'm going to show it to you right now. Every time I go to the store, I have a way of delivering myself all the different things that I need very, very quickly. I transport them. I'm going to give you an example. I have before you 2 bottles of grape juice. I love to have grape juice for the weekend, and it's very important that I have enough of it. And so I have a small bottle and a big bottle. You never know what you're going to need, if you're going to have it yourself or you're going to have your whole family. So I'm going to actually make them move. It's a wonderful thing. I can get them from the store to my house, and I never have to leave my house. It's a wonderful thing. So I'm going to cover them all over. I cover over the bottle here, and I cover the bottle here, and I'm going to make the bottle and the bottle change. Well, don't you know? Everybody now has to have extra things because, you know, you can't just have 1 bottle of water. You have to have 3 cases of water. So I have extra bottles. It's fine. Now, I don't need that. That's not even part of the trick. Now, what's going to happen is the small bottle is going to go where the big bottle is, and the big bottle is going to go to the small bottle. I'm going to transport it by magic. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. Change. And when it changes, the small bottle that was once over here is now over here. The big bottle is over here. Isn't that wonderful? I'm going to do it back in reverse. Amazing. I get it. You guys don't think I can make the bottle change places. Yes, I know. But when I do that, you know, it's a problem because people think, because they saw the extra bottle, that I hide extra bottles. They think that I have inside the tube like an extra bottle. I don't. If I had an extra bottle, you would see an extra bottle, and I'm not using an extra bottle. So I have a bottle over here, and I have a small bottle here, and they would change places. But you see, I don't do that because people would think that if I have a bottle here and an extra bottle there and the bottle over here, that I might have a bottle inside this one. I don't, because if I did, I wouldn't use that because I don't need to. So I have a small bottle over here and a big bottle over here, and they change places, and that's the trick. Thank you, Barry. Oh, you probably want to see this done faster, don't you? Okay, I can actually do this faster, and I can do it with only 1 hand. People accuse me of having fast magic hands, so I shall do it with 1 hand. I will cover over the bottle, and turn bigger stuff, turn small, and do that, and give yourself an extra bottle. Now, I don't use an extra bottle, but if I did, I would do this, and I'd go over here, and I'd have an extra bottle up here, but then you'd have an extra bottle up here. Now, I don't use an extra bottle. Now, sometimes people don't do it with a small bottle and a big bottle. Sometimes if I need a whole family over, I have a big bottle here, a big bottle here, a big bottle here, but that's not what I'm going to do. You see, I have just a bunch of bottles, and I have a small bottle over here and a large bottle over here. I do not have a small bottle over here and a large bottle over here because, that was a mistake. I touched the 2 of them together, and then they double. You see this? Now I have 2 small ones, and and now I have a bigger one over here, and I have a big one over here, and a big one over here, and a big one over here, and a big one over here. There we go, multiplying bottles of grape juice in order that I don't have to go to the store anytime soon. Thank you very much. Wonderful. I'm going to put this back away in my kitchen. You know, in honor of Yom Ha'atzmaut, I came up with a very special presentation I'm going to show you right now. I hope you enjoy it. Please sit back and relax. Well, I hope you appreciated that. That was something I came up just for you. Well, I would like to maybe teach my craft to somebody here in our group. And I'm going to ask for the assistance of somebody here who in a moment is going to entertain all of you. I'm going to take a break while they do this wonderful trick. And I'm going to ask right now that somebody be selected, and they're going to help me. And from all the way over there, they're going to do a trick on you guys. And it's going to be wonderful. And I hope when you're home and they do it, I'm going to ask you to clap for them and cheer just as if you're sitting in an audience with them, okay? So if we could, please, if we could find me an assistant to help out in our next fact. Oh, hello. Hi, what is your name?
Raylene.
Well, it's a pleasure to meet you. In a moment, I'm going to ask you to read these. These are called cue cards, and there are words on them. And this is what they do for broadcasters, and they're going to speak to a screen in order that it looks like they know everything. It's been written down so they won't forget any of the words. So I have these cue cards for you, and with these cue cards, you will be instantly a magician and maybe even a mind reader. So if you could read this aloud to everyone as you see them, and we'll have a lot of fun. So go right now.
Hello, everybody.
Now, while you guys are home, I want you to imagine she's standing right before you. So please talk back to the screen and say, hello. Wonderful.
Thank you for coming to my show.
Oh, wonderful.
Allow me to introduce myself.
I would love to know who's doing a show at my show.
I am the amazing Raylene.
Oh, the amazing Raylene. Wonderful.
The second best magician in the world.
Oh, the second best magician in the world. Thank you for reading that properly. The boys never do.
I am about to show you
Mm-hmm.
the most amazing trick ever.
Really? I'm excited for this.
For this, I will need a volunteer.
Okay.
So let me choose someone.
Okay, so why don't you choose someone? Sure.
So let me choose someone. What is your name? Elia. I knew that.
Wow, she knew that. It must all be min hashamayim. She gets everything. She knows all. Or the fact that she's quarantined with that person. Okay?
Please think of a parasha.
Okay, so please think of any parsha.
For the first time, name your parasha.
Okay, so your brother is going to think of any parsha in the Torah, anywhere at all. And would you please say it out loud for your sister?
Gracious.
Okay, wonderful.
Which Sefer?
Yeah, which Sefer is that in? Which book is that in? Which Sefer? Does he know? Which Sefer is Gracious in?
Gracious.
Oh, trick question. Wonderful.
I knew that too.
Oh, wonderful. Amazing.
I knew you'd name that parsha.
Really? You must be a psychic.
You don't believe me?
We're having a hard time.
Allow me to prove it.
Oh, perfect.
Early on today,
Uh-huh. Oops. Sorry. Blank.
I had this funny feeling.
Me too, but I thought it was from the Kugel from Shabbos. Oy, what a story. Not a problem.
About one special parasha. And I placed it inside an envelope.
Oh, wonderful. Do you happen to have it there with you? Do you have it there with you? You weren't the person I was supposed to mail the special envelope to? You weren't? Oh, no. But that's okay. It's okay. It's okay. I believe I must have brought an extra one. No, that's not it. That's not it. Oh, here we go. This one. All right. So normally, if you were standing here, you would open this up, but I guess I will have to do this for you. Inside of this envelope is your parsha, your special parsha that you placed in there beforehand. And there's only one. Could have been any one of the different parsha from the Torah, and there are many of them. And it happens to be Parsha Bereshis. There we go. You did an amazing job. And I guess next year, you will be doing the show for everyone. Give her a big, huge round of applause. You were wonderful. Amazing. Thank you so much. Wow. You know, as it was stated, I've never been to London before, and I would love the opportunity. And I actually find myself traveling all different places, and I've come up with a way of fitting in with wherever shul that I go to. And I've come up with this. I call this the chameleon kova, or the anything hat. With this piece of hat felt, I don't have to bring a big suitcase valise of all my different clothing. All I have to do is bring this little piece of hat felt. And with this, I can look normal in whatever shul I go and daven in. I know this seems a bit strange, but let me explain. You see, I have discovered if you take a regular rabbi hat, you cut the brim of the hat from the top of the hat, any hat is possible. Allow me to show you. Wonderful. Now, let's say I'm doing a show down in Texas. I'm doing a show down in Texas, so I can have myself a hat just like the rabbi of the shul. Or I can have myself a hat just like the gabbai of the shul. Kohen, Levi, Yisrael, Geben, Stucker. Now, let's say I go to Rhode Island. If you're not familiar with the state Rhode Island here in America, they're an East Coast town. They have a lot of fishing, and over there I can hang out with a fisherman. Or I could go to the first shul here in the United States. It's called the Synagogue. And over there, it is mentioned that George Washington visited over there, our first president, George Washington. And this is the hat that old George wore when he went down the Delaware. This is old George's hat. Now, maybe you're less interested in American history, more interested in Jewish history. You'd like to know the kind of hat that they wore at the time of Joseph and his brothers in Egypt in Temple Beth Hermon. Now, there are people who go away for winter vacation here in America, and they go down to Disney World. Or if you get a chance, it's a wonderful place. If you're in Disney World, it's so interesting that all the Orthodox men get together and they find a time to daven. And while they're there, if some people wear hats, so you can buy a hat, you can borrow a hat, or you can make your own little Mickey Mouse ears with my hat, Mickey Mouse. Or at the end of the day, if you find yourself in Adventureland and there's a guy standing up with the Amud and he's davening and he's like, "Arr, arr, you hate Shmirava, arr." Now, of course, there are people who go away for Pesach. Some people find themselves going across the seas over to England. And if you're in England, you might need an old British soldier hat that looks something like this. If you do not recognize this hat, this of course is the hat from the game Stratego. Stratego. If you go to France, you might need a hat that looks like Napoleon. If you go to Spain, you might see a guy running after a bull, and he's wearing a hat that looks like this, and that would be a matador. Or if you decide to take a walking tour through the shtetls in Europe, you can take this hat and give it a couple of twists, and you can turn that hat into a small little kashketel fiddler on the hat hat. Now, when I fly into New York, I fly back into JFK and back into LaGuardia, and now I can fit in with the New York cab drivers here where we are. And this hat can also be a New York City cab driver hat. A New York City cab driver hat would look something like that. A New York City cab driver hat. Now, of course, you're probably wondering, like, Mr. Cohen, how is it possible for you to daven in your Fondler Stiebel and Flatbush? Well, it's very simple. All I have to do is give the hat another tug and another pull, and I can turn that hat that I made all those crazy hats with, and I turn it back into a 6-inch Borsalino hat to go and daven in any other shul. The Chameleon Cove, everybody. Thank you very much. Available at your local Judaica store. Wow. Wasn't that fun? Well, we're on our approach to our next holiday, which happens to be Lag BaOmer. Now, on Lag BaOmer, we do a wonderful thing where we some of us go out and we play bow and arrow. It's a wonderful, wonderful holiday. And so right now I'm going to do a wonderful themed magic trick. And in order to do that, I'm going to need a bit of help. This wasn't prepared, but I'm going to ask that we get somebody out from our guest audience on screen to help me out. So one more time, I'm just going to need somebody to choose, if you don't mind, for just a moment, if we could just quickly get someone up on screen. Hello, how are you again? All right. I don't recall your initials. Would you give me your two initials of your name, please?
EP.
The letter E, as in Edward, like E, correct? E, like this, E?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to put a little E on here, on this handkerchief. Can you see that? That's on there. And can you see? Yes. And the next letter is?
P.
P as in Peter, P. Yes? Oh, perfect. Okay. EP. Okay. I don't want to make that look like a D. I'll make that a little bit longer. And there you go. I believe you should be able to see that properly on there. Can you see that? It's, oh, I got to turn that this way. That is, I got a mirror image. There you go. Yes. Okay. So that's yours. And right now I'm going to need a helper for this. And, oh, I think I should bring up my helper. Oh, wonderful. I will bring you my second helper, and this is my daughter. This is my daughter, Meira. She's going to hold it up. You can smile. Okay, wonderful. We can go back to full screen, and we're going to have a theme that has to do with Lag BaOmer. And we're going to, first of all, take off the handkerchief from here. I'm going to unscrew that. And we're going to try something interesting. You're going to take the handkerchief. We no longer need the tubes. Okay, I'm going to place the handkerchief down inside of my hand, just like so. Goes down inside of my hand, and I'm going to wave the magic wand, and it's going to disappear from my hand. 1, 2, and 3. Okay, that didn't quite work. Thank you very much. We're going to move on to the next. Meira, do me a favor. Put out your hand just like this. Okay, I'm going to place this inside of your hand. Would you be amazed if I could actually make this disappear from Meira's hands? Okay. Yes, that would be quite interesting. So Meira, hold on. We're going to get this to disappear from your hand. 1, 2, 3. Gone. Open up your hand. But that would have been amazing. That would have been amazing. But then you would have accused me of saying, oh, well, this is my daughter, and maybe she is in on the magic trick, but she actually has never seen this before, have you? She has no idea what I'm about to do. This is wonderful. I love themed magic trick just in time for my shows. We're going to try something here, and here's what's going to happen. I'm going to take this bow and arrow. Yes, it's not an arrow, it's a magic wand, but we're going to take this, and I'm going to take this, and I'm going to shoot this handkerchief inside of I need a target. Oh, I know. How about this apple? Wonderful. Now, I don't know if you know these stories of William Tell, that he used to shoot arrows off of his son's head. Yeah, that's what we're going to do right now. So, Meira, would you mind holding carefully the apple on top of your head? Wonderful. You may aim towards the camera. Perfect. Don't no balancing, holding. No balancing, holding. Thank you very much. And here's what's going to happen. I'm going to take it, and I'm going to shoot it. I'm going to shoot it right inside. I'm going to shoot it right inside of the, oh, sorry. I'm going to shoot it right inside of the apple. Let me aim, shoot, and fire the handkerchief inside of the apple. Wah! Oops, sorry. Excuse me. Sorry, didn't mean that. Sorry. Okay, hold on. Let me get the. Okay, let's try this one more time. Okay, Meira. We are going to get the handkerchief to go inside. We're going to get it to go inside of the apple. If it does go inside of the apple, I want to hear a huge round of applause for my assistant, Meira. There we go. Okay, ready? Yes, I'm probably as good of a shot as all of those learned rabbis who went out in the Roman time to use their bow and arrow to pretend that they were actually hunting while they were really learning. So I'm probably as good as they were because they probably didn't hunt at all. Are you ready? 1, 2, and 3. Boom! Wonderful! It is now flying through the air, and it has ended up inside of the apple. To show you that it is inside of the apple, we are going to cut open the apple carefully, with hopefully not cutting open my hand. And inside here is what? Oh no! Oh dear! Oh my! Look, it's a worm, and there's a bit of a worm inside. It's a oh wait, no. That's Meira. That's a magic worm. That's a magic worm. That's our other assistant. His name is Wormy the worm. Meira. Inside the core of the apple, you'll notice there's a little handkerchief. Do you mind pulling on that for me? Pulling that all the way out. I'm going to ask you to take that and open it up. You can see it has my name. It has our assistant's name on it. We're just going to hold it up here to the camera to confirm that that really is. If we could bring him up here, can you confirm that that is yours? Is that your signature? Is that your letters? Thank you very much. Amazing! And just in time for Lag Omer, and you may sit back down. Wonderful. Just move this out of the way. Hashem Echad, U'Shemo Echad, V'Shemo L'Tiferes Elisila, V'Chadodi, V'Gaskala, B'nei Shabbos, Nekah. Well, now that you've seen me make an inanimate object float in the air, I thought it might be fun to try to make an animate object float in air. And to do that, I am going to ask for my lovely assistant, Shoshana, to come up for my next effect. If you don't mind, I'm going to need that. Thank you so very much. And here's what we're going to do. We are going to make a place for Shoshana to rest upon. I have here a blanket that you would normally see on an airplane flight, and that's what I have over here. And Shoshana, I'm going to ask you to please hop up, and if you could just lie down on top of my chairs on the board. First of all, Shoshana, do you feel comfortable? That's important. Okay, leave it like that. You're good. Perfect. Now, Shoshana, I'm going to ask you to relax, and when you do, we're going to have a little bit of fun. So here we go.
Al menastek avatra, Altika udim sham chinasura, Al menastek avatra, Altika udim sham chinasura, Al menastek avatra, Altika udim sham chinasura, Al menastek avatra. Loya voy duda. Loya voy duda me spoiló. Elo me abu. Elo me abu duda. Loya voy duda. Loya voy duda me spoiló. Elo me abu. Elo me abu duda.
Take it out. Take it out. Wonderful. And here are your shoes. And now, to finish off our wonderful time together, I'm going to show you a wonderful effect. And this one is a special one to me because I once again get to interact with one of my daughters. And this time, I'm going to ask my daughter, Meira, to come. And she's going to be finishing off our show. Meira, if you do me a favor, you could just, I guess she knows already. Please stand up. And say hello to everybody. Hello to everybody. Hello, everybody. Hi, everybody. Wonderful. Now, Meira, I know I'm a performer, but would you let everybody know whether you perform on a regular basis? Not normally. Okay, wonderful. Meira is not a performer. She doesn't normally do this. And for your benefit, I'm going to turn Meira into instantly into a magician. It's going to take us a moment here to get everything in order to get us ready for this. You're just going to have to give us a second because we have to make sure that everything is in its proper place. Now, Meira, you're dressed wonderfully, but for a magic show, you have to be a bit more like a magician. Be a little more black and be a little more spiffy. So I'm going to choose for you an outfit. Let me get it for you right now. This is one of my old outfits, and I'm going to lend it to you for our presentation here right now. And this particular outfit will allow you to instantly feel and look like a magician. Just give me one moment. Oh, wonderful. Thank you. Perfect. We're gonna need this also. And and might as well get this in there too. Perfect. Good. Wonderful. Wonderful. Good. Okay. We have here a magic costume, and Meira, you don't have to move anything. Just keep your arms to the side as I place this down on you. Looks like you've instantly gotten a haircut. That's so wonderful. So in these times, it's very difficult to get haircuts, so might as well get them when you can. And this hat is for later. We're going to place it up on here. Wonderful. That fits ever so slightly nicely on you. Wonderful. All right, and now I present to you the magic of Meira. On behalf of myself, my bird Samson, and my two unbelievable assistants, my daughter, the magician Meira, and my other equally wonderful daughter, Shoshana, I want to thank everybody all the way from America to you out there, all the way in London and in Israel, and wherever you might find yourself looking at this broadcast. I really appreciate your time, and it has been a wonderful, wonderful time for me and my family. I would like to now hand it off to the Rabbi of Tribe, Eli Levine, who's going to speak to you for a few words. But once again, thank you all so very much.
And for our next trick, Ben, that was wild. Thank you so much, Ben. Let's hear a big round for you, Samson, all your assistants, and the wonderful participants on the show. Absolutely fantastic. We've really enjoyed this partnership with the Belmont community today. Thank you, Belmont. Thanks, David, Rabbi and Rebbetzin Levine, and the entire Belmont team. Tribe has an amazing series of events every single week. So let me tell you what's coming up. Number one, every Sunday at 11 a.m., we have Tribe Time, which is a packed hour. It's a power hour of Jewish education and skills for all children in primary school. If you go to Cheder or a Jewish school, we want to see you on a Sunday morning. The hour is broken into 3 sections. From 11 till 11:20, we focus on leading the Shabbat morning service. Put you in the driver's seat so that you can drive, you can make that Shabbat service come to life. From 11:20 till 11:40, we talk about Israel this morning. We had the most incredible story about Moshe Montefiore. And from 11:40 to 12 p.m., it's a Jewish theme and game. Wow, there were cracked eggs and all sorts of things happening today. Really worthwhile attending. Next one is Sunday next week at 11 a.m. We hope you'll join us for the entire hour, but even if you come for just a bit, that's good too. Number 2, are you counting with me? Number 2, every week we have tales and trivia for the whole family. The next one is tomorrow at 5 p.m. with Rav E. And he is going to be telling you the story of Theodore Theodor Herzl and the Jewish Spirit, followed by, you guessed it, another famous Rav E. Kahoot. Don't miss out tomorrow at 5 p.m. And then number 3, we move to Friday at 12 p.m. Every Friday, please join me for a pre-Shabbat story. Who knows what the story will be this week? The hats that will appear, the characters that will come to the screen. Please do join us to celebrate. Be there, join in, and let's make this happen so that the magic can continue. For now, it's goodbye from Tribe, goodbye from Belmont. See you again soon. Thank you all so very much.